Back's turn. Origi turn, shoots.
Build the dream in FIFA 20, pay less and get more, and use the code TVM at checkout for a bigger discount. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to another video, and this is my first official squad builder of FIFA 20. Now, with the game officially releasing today, this is aimed more at the people just starting the game rather than the people who have had it through early access and maybe even the Champions Edition. Although, of course, if you are a little bit behind, maybe you've had to wait till the weekend to play it, then this could be for you as well. We're going to add, I'll tell you what I'll do, right? I'll just do it this way because it's so much easier to do that. So, we put it on Premier League. First player is going to be Fabianski. Now, the reason I'm going to put Fabianski in there is because if you leave him on a basic chem style as well, with 10 chem, everything gets boosted by 10. You can see that everything's downgraded by 10 right now, but it gets boosted by 10 with a basic chem style. Never put a chem style on a goalkeeper. There's no point. In terms of a right back, I'm actually going to go with the lowest rated player here, Diogo Dalot is his name, Dalot of Manchester United. One of the reasons being is because he's relatively well-rounded, he's very, very cheap, and if you want to upgrade the right back, Wan-Bissaka, for instance, he's got a ones to watch, or will have a ones to watch in a couple of hours. If you're watching this after 6, he already has it. His base card is 20, 30,000 coins anyway, and then if you move up again into Trent or something, again, you're looking at maybe 20, 30,000 coins. So, you just need to stick anyone in there. Someone with a bit of pace, and someone, of course, who can, I would say reasonably well-rounded in terms of dribbling. His defensive stats are actually quite bad, so you would want to put a chem style on him for sure. A shadow would be quite nice, because then you could boost that pace as well. Looking at the centre-backs, you've got options here. Lindelof isn't a bad shout because you've got really nice defensive stats, reasonably good physicals, and then good pace. And then, of course, you've got quite a few other players in there. Obviously, Vertonghen is one of those sort of higher end, but I wouldn't really recommend him anyway because of his pace. The first player we're going to put in is actually going to be Nathan Ake, and the reason is because, again, he's got very solid defensive stats. He's got that pace, and his physicals are okay. If you want to stick a shadow on him again, if you want to, I wouldn't say waste a shadow, but you're not going to be sticking with this team that long. First set of rewards, and you're probably going to look to upgrade, right? Maybe you've even put in a few FIFA points in at the beginning. Who knows? But either way, I think that's a good start. And then you've already seen this guy, but I'm going to click in this time, and that's, of course, Joe Gomez. I'm not sure of his price these days, but again, much like Nathan Ake, solid defensively. His physicals are slightly worse off because of his jumping, but he is already 6'2". Medium isn't ideal, but his pace is very nice. And his frame, he's just got a big frame. So, yeah, good centre-back there, good pairing. At left-back, obviously, we've got to go with Mendy. Again, I'm not sure of his price tag, actually. Let me have a look. Compare price. I'm on PC, and prices tend to be a little bit more expensive, so he's around the 10k mark. And for that money, you've got a solid left-back. Again, there aren't that many great left-backs without spending copious amounts of coins, so I think Mendy's a good shout. Moving into the CDM, I've already done a video on Ndidi, and that would be a great shout. As you can see, just poking above the line there down beneath to my left, you've got Ndidi on the bench. And I'm not going to put him into this team, although you can use him and you'd have my blessing. I'm going to use this guy instead, Gabamin. I can't say that guy's name properly, but either way. The reason I want to use him is because, again, he's extremely well-rounded. He's got very nice physicals for a 79 rated card. Decent defensive stats, decent dribbling stats. Ignore the balance and the agility because he's a CDM. He's going to be on stay back while attacking. It doesn't matter. The passing is adequate, and the shooting, believe it or not, is adequate as well. Shot power and long shots, if you need them, they are there. And he's not the slowest player either. 85 sprint speed is nice. So, if you want to just stick, I don't know, an engine on him or a shadow or something, you've got, again, a very pacey player with really good defensive stats. But, once you start putting all the shadows on people, then you do start to put the price tag up a little bit. But, it is what it is. Right side, again, there are a couple of options, Mo Salah being one of them. But I'm going to go with Richarlison. The reason Mo Salah's not one of them is because he's just too damn expensive. But Richarlison's a nice, cheap and cheerful choice. Again, he shouldn't cost you too much. He's got a little bit of pace to him, nothing too crazy. Long shots are very low, 67. But I wouldn't worry about it too much because I don't tend to shoot that much from outside the area. I don't concede that many goals from outside the area. You can score them, but I think it's far better this year to just try and work your way inside the penalty area and score goals that way. So with 81 finishing, 82 shot power, decent attack positioning, very well rounded. Just a good shout. Going over to the left side, and this might be a bit of an obvious choice for everyone. I'm going to go with Fraser. Sessegnon is a choice if you are strapped for cash, because Fraser is, what, 5-6k maybe? A little bit more, maybe a little bit less now that the game's come out and people are sort of spamming packs, but he was around that price tag when I am recording this. Sessegnon's not a bad shout. Bernard, despite the fact that he has about 12 strength, he's not a bad shout either, because he's got very good agility and balance. His ball control, dribbling are nice, and his pace is electric. I've come up against him a few times. He does cause me problems, but Fraser is my man, because Fraser has just slightly better stats. You know, his strength is 20 more, despite the fact that it's only 50, but he just has a little bit more going forward in terms of his shooting and his passing. So that's why he's in there. In terms of the cam spot, there are a lot of players you can choose here. I'm actually going to go with Jesse Lingard, believe it or not. I know why. But his stamina is phenomenal. He's going to be on get forward as well. So he's going to be exerting a lot of energy. I've actually got an engine on him and I don't know why. Did I buy him? No, he's untradeable. I must have put the engine on him myself. I don't even know why I've done that. But we've increased the pace. We've increased that passing considerably, and of course the dribbling goes up as well. He's already got the physicals that we need, the stamina. Just cheap and cheerful cam. There are other options, of course there are. You could even convert strikers down to be cams, should you wish to do so. But Lingard is not a bad choice for minimal coins. Now, this is where things start to potentially get expensive. So the first striker that we're going to go for, there aren't that many good options in the Premier League unless you spend a lot of money. I'm going to go with Haller for the first striker, and it's only because he's got strength to hold up the ball, he's good in front of goal, and he's got a decent reaction rating, right? So 84 reactions is good, and he shouldn't be too expensive because a lot of people aren't going to want to use him. Rightfully so, I guess, because he's not the most desirable player in the world. But the problem you've got with strikers in the Premier League early stages is that unless you go after a Vardy or even a Rashford or Gabriel Jesus, for instance, those are the ones that are desirable. Even Vardy's, what, 20, 25k? That's a lot of money to spend in the very early stages. So, I don't know. I'm just giving you another option there, but someone like Vardy or Gabriel Jesus or even Rashford are the ones that you're going to be aiming for. You could even start off in a 4-3-3, so you only have to choose the one striker, so maybe you could go after wingers who are going to be less expensive. But, you know, you've got options. And then in the striker position, this is a bit of a stretch. I am going to go with Timo Pukki. Big fan of Timo Pukki this year. This Player of the Month card is sensational. It's available for a while, right? So you can stick, I don't know, whoever you want in there now, Gray or Wilson or something. Again, they're quite expensive considering, but you can just stick them in there for now. And then once you can afford to do the Pukki SBC, if you have got a Premier League team, I would highly recommend it because he is an absolute monster. I can't really explain why, but he is a phenomenally good player. I mean, he's got a little bit of pace to him, sure. His finishing is very nice. His shot power is decent, attack position is good, his physicals are nice. And again, he's got that sort of on the cusp of being a really good sort of dribbler, and his passing is very nice. And it's only an 84 rated card, and it's really cheap, and you get some packs back for it as well. So I would definitely consider doing that. So 4-1-2-2. This goes on balanced. Corners down to 2. Free kicks on 3. We'll bump that up by 1, and we'll knock that down, and then we'll put this on press after possession loss. So you've got press after possession loss, 5 bars, which is halfway, of course, for width and depth. You can move this down if you want. It depends on how often you get caught in behind. I tend to leave it sort of there or there. I'll leave it there just to drop slightly, but we've got enough pace at the back. We should be fine. Leave the offensive style on balanced. Leave this on 6 bars, which I think is just over halfway. So it's up to you whether you want to push it further down by 1 or up by 1, but we'll leave both of those on 6 each. Corners down by 1 because getting caught on the counter is something that happens a lot, and you want to try and minimize that if you can. So I've dropped the corners down to 2, and then free kicks are on 3 because, yeah, why not? Just leave it sort of neutral. We're going to go, like I said, we're going to go narrow for this. The reason I want to do narrow is because you just get more of a packed midfield, and it just tends to work a little bit better. It looks narrow, but it doesn't play narrow in terms of attacking, but it does defensively, and that is a good thing. In terms of instruction, we're going to tell both strikers to just get in behind and stay central. And it sounds stupid because Haller isn't a player that you want really running in behind with 60-something acceleration, but it works. And of course, Jesse Lingard is going to stay forward as well. Nothing on Fraser and Richarlison. The temptation to tell them to get forward will be there. Do not do it because you will be left with massive gaps in your midfield. Gabarmin, if I can select him, stay back while attacking. Now it's completely up to you whether you want to do stay back while attacking or the new option, which is drop between defenders. Now what that means is he will drop between Joe Gomez and Nathan Ake. It's an option and you feel free to try it out if you want. Sometimes you'll be left with too big of a gap between the defence and the midfield and it will cause you problems. Other times you'll be okay. It depends on what depth you're playing in your defence. I'm going to leave it on stay back while attacking. And again, depends on how good you are with defending. You can put your fullbacks onto overlap if you wish to do so. I'm not going to on this occasion, although I do dabble with it now and again. As I get better at defending, I will definitely put it on. But right now, I'm not that confident in defending, so I'm just going to leave it on neutral. And you'd think that would be it, but no, because you can put instructions on the goalkeeper this year. You could last year, but they're more important this year. So I do sweeper keeper. Basically, what that means is if the ball is played over the top and the defenders are nowhere near it, the keeper will rush off his line to try and intercept. And it has saved me quite a few times, so I'm going to leave that on there. You can put caution with crossing or comes for crosses if you want. I'm going to leave it on default because I haven't really decided which is the best way to go about doing it. So yeah, that's pretty much how I play. And I don't set up any other instructions. Last year I was setting up loads of different instructions for different scenarios, but this year so far that seems to cover all bases, and I don't think you ever really need to change. You can switch into constant pressure if you want to at certain points, but I just feel like it pulls people out of position far too much. If you're chasing the game, then fair enough, but for me this seems to work. You've got a nice bench down there for super subs or replacements, and it shouldn't cost you too much to build this. The game that I've chosen to showcase is this, and I thought it was appropriate because he has a lot of players that we have, but he has upgraded players. So he's got Ndombele and Sissoko, two players that you could definitely put in there, but are 20, 30k each. Wan-Bissaka, Rashford is like 70,000 coins. So he's got a massively upgraded version of the team that we have with Handanovic and Skriniar at the back. So he's got a better team. Doesn't say he's a better player, obviously. He could be worse off, he could be better, I don't know. But I thought it was an interesting game to pick out because of the teams involved. They are very similar and, like I said, upgraded. Timo Pukki is your main goal scorer and always will be, I think, for this team. Haller is good. As you can see, his footwork is decent for sure. But he doesn't quite have that presence and that sort of killer instinct, if you will, that Pukki has. His reactions are not quite as good in front of goal. Handanovic making a great save there. But you will score majority of your goals, I would have thought, with Pukki. Depends on how you play, of course. But overlapping run here from the full-back, plays it inside to Haller. Lovely back heel, and Fraser wasn't the best in front of goal there. I think if I had my time again, I would have done things a little bit differently. In terms of getting caught up and over the top, you've got two very pacey centre-backs. I didn't put chem styles on either of them, but obviously if you do so, maybe shadows on both if you've got that, or even an anchor or something just to boost the pace a little bit. You'll have a little bit extra in turn of foot, so you should be fine in getting back. Again here, Gomez comes across, he's quick enough to do so, and he's able to stick a leg in there, and it's easy pickings. The team holds the ball very well, as you can see, 59% possession, they pass it around very well. Of course, this is down to my playstyle as well, so you're not guaranteed to get these results, but I like to hold the ball, I like to pass it around, I look for space. And this team is allowing me to play the game that I want to play. You know, I've built it around the way that I play the game personally, but I think a lot of people will try and play very similarly this year in terms of trying to keep possession, look for passes. I see a lot of people tweeting already that they just spend half their time on the edge of the area looking for a gap. The beauty of this is, of course, and you've seen Nathan Ake do it on so many occasions, he's so quick and his defensive awareness is fantastic. He's always in the right place at the right time to make a great defensive challenge. Gabarmin back there to do that this time, plays the ball to Fraser, and we can start from the back. And in fact, I'm going to stick with it because this is the definitive goal that kills the game off, because Pukki and Haller are playing very well, and then Pukki through the middle. We are going to get lucky with a rebound off the post. Does happen from time to time. Rebounds are rife, but normally from goalkeeper parrying, not so much from the post. I think that's probably the first goal I've scored with a rebound off the post. But the team works so well because it's well balanced. You know, you've got pace where needed, and then you've got strength where needed, and then the two strikers complement each other. Haller can hold it up. He's got good footwork, and Pookie is the pace and the killer instinct really in and behind. If you've got any suggestions for other teams, maybe we do one per league, and we can do starter teams for every single league. Of course, my Bundesliga team on the road to glory is essentially my starter team, so maybe you'd like to see that next, or maybe a small tweak to it here or there. But if you have enjoyed it, then do me a favour and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and until the next time, goodbye.
Football Index. The game changed. Download the app now.